Is it difficult to find the time to clean your home? Are you frustrated that after a busy day, your house is a wreck and you have no energy left to whip it back into shape? Then this video is one you probably want to watch. I get it, okay? We're all busy in our own way. Some of us have work outside the home jobs. Some of us have lots of little kids and many things to tend to inside the home. And others have goals that keep them physically active and busy throughout the day. We choose how to use our time, and truth be told, one of the last things we want to allocate time for is cleaning. Sure, we might like the results, but the effort that is involved can feel overwhelming. So I want to share with you my list of 7 very simple cleaning rules that even the busiest of people should be able to follow. Number 1, constantly seek out clutter. You guys didn't expect the number 1 rule on this list to be anything else, did you? I'm telling you that even though I always considered myself to be a clean and tidy person, I could keep things looking organized and put together, it really wasn't until I started dealing with the excess clutter and getting rid of it that I really started to make progress with cleaning. You might be wondering, well, how do I know if it's clutter or not? My simple answer is, if it annoys you or makes life more difficult, it's most likely clutter. So what do I mean by constantly seeking out clutter? Well, that clutter might actually be getting in the way of your ability to clean, like it was for me. If you're constantly moving things around, things that you don't even care about that much, just to be able to clean, maybe dust underneath them or mop underneath a piece of furniture, then that's really going to get in the way. It's a barrier for being able to do that deep cleaning. So just that simple act of letting go of clutter will actually free up more of that precious resource that we call time. When tackling this rule, it will be important to have a plan in place. This plan involves 2 things, a box and a garbage can. This is where your clutter will go when you find it. If the clutter is trash, straight into the garbage bag it goes. If it's something that has a bit of value and is in good condition, place it in the box. Literally, you can just add items to both the bag and the box until they are full, and then dispose of them in the proper way, either with a direct path to the city dump or dropped off at a donation center. This rule is very simple to implement and will actually pave the way toward a cleaner home in a very passive, low-effort sort of way, one item at a time. Rule number 2, always put things back where you found them. Our moms have been reminding us of this since we were kids, right? It's so easy, and yet we sometimes have difficulty following through. But think of it this way, if every item in your home has a place to belong, a specific spot set aside for it, then this rule should really take no mental effort at all to accomplish. It probably goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. The first step for this rule is going to be identifying those spots, the places where our things are going to go. It has to be just as easy to put them away as it is to leave them laying out. That means you shouldn't shove items into drawers or jam them into closets. No awkward placements of things. For example, many people store their board games and puzzles one on top of another, but I've found that it's much easier to take them out and put them away if they're arranged vertically, like books on a bookshelf. Keeping all of one type of item in a single area is another thing that I've found to be very helpful. Instead of keeping small amounts of Band-Aids or medicine in various medicine cabinets or bathrooms throughout the home, centralizing them in one spot really can streamline things. You'll probably have to do a bit of testing and trying things out to really determine the best location for various items and objects within your household. But the bonus of this particular rule is that you will always know where to find the things you need when you need them, and I know that is going to be another time saver. Number 3, rely on automation as much as possible. Oh, those lovely modern-day conveniences that we have access to. They can save us quite a bit of effort if we maximize their potential. A few of the more popular examples that come to mind are the dishwasher, a robot vacuum cleaner, and clothes dryer. But there are many others available to help you keep up with your cleaning chores, some that you may not have even considered, such as an air purifier, which can reduce your need to dust as often, or an under-the-counter food composter, which will turn those scraps of fruits and vegetables into lovely soil for your garden, which can save you time and money, and also can reduce the amount of garbage that you create, meaning fewer trips to the outside garbage can. There's even a self-cleaning kitty litter box. Who wouldn't love that? Time savings abound. Now, of course, some people prefer to do their chores the old-fashioned way. Personally, I prefer to hand wash my family's dishes. There's no harm in that. Just know that you do have these automated systems as options available to you should you choose to use them. And if you do use them, your body is going to be freed up to do other cleaning tasks at the same time, which will essentially cut the time needed for the chores in half. Take advantage of that time. If your dryer is doing the work of drying your clothes and your dishwasher is washing your dishes, instead of just vegging out waiting for the machines to finish, use that time efficiently to accomplish something else. In a less technology-based way, automation can also come in the form of the next rule on my list, which is to practice time blocking. Sure, you may not have hours and hours to spare each day, but do you have 10 or 15 minutes? A lot can be accomplished in that amount of time too, especially with focused effort. If you're not sure how long a specific task might take, do a trial run. Set a stopwatch and get to work. Folding laundry, washing dishes, sweeping the floors, whatever. Clock out once you've finished. I really do think you might be surprised at the amount of time that is actually needed. Usually, it's far less than we imagine the chore will take. Once you've established that base guideline, the next time that you need to tackle that same cleaning task, you can confidently set an alarm instead of a stopwatch and then try to beat it. Now, let's say that you don't get the job completed in the time that you've blocked off or allocated for yourself. What's the next step? Well, you really have two options. The first is to just push on for a bit longer to complete the job, and the other is to set it aside until later when you can give a more focused effort. Really, either of these two options are perfectly acceptable. I'd be willing to bet that once you get into that active cleaning mode though, the momentum that you have is going to want you to keep going to get the job done. That's probably going to happen most often. But don't beat yourself up if you physically are not able to do so. If you have other commitments and you need to leave the house, you don't have time to get it done. That's okay. Remember, when it comes to cleaning, progress is far better than perfection. This rule of time blocking can also work on a larger scale for those less routine chores like laundry or cleaning bathrooms. You might find that setting apart one day for the laundry, for example, where that's your main and only big chore, that might be helpful. Or you can time block 15 minutes at the end of a day to do a reset of your spaces so that they're all cleaned up and ready to be used the following day. Find a rhythm that works for you. Rule number 5 is don't make things more difficult. Somehow we subconsciously find ways to sabotage our cleaning efforts from time to time. I can give you a few examples and you'll probably think of a bunch more. Probably one of the most common is wearing outside shoes inside the home. Now, I'm not talking about shoes that you have set aside just to be worn indoors or indoor slippers, anything like that. Those are perfectly fine. I'm talking about street shoes, the ones that you wear to the shopping stores or just out on a run, and then you wear them indoors, bringing in dirt and grime and germs, making more work for yourself. Those outside shoes are really better left at the door. Laundry is another cleaning chore that can easily be overcomplicated. For example, I used to spend a ton of time separating my dark colored items from my light ones and washing them on different cycles until I realized that I could wash them together with cold water. Those minutes saved by not sorting have added up over the years and were no doubt applied to another chore. Do a complete audit of your home to identify any aspects that make cleaning more thoroughly difficult to do. Maybe your cleaning supplies are not in a very easily accessible location. Or you put off going into your kid's toy room until it's a mega disaster. Perhaps you have the bad habit of eating in bed, or your walls have the finish painted on them that seems to be collecting the grit and grime instead of being easy to wipe off. Eliminate as many of these barriers as you possibly can for a less stressful cleaning experience. Rule number 6 is to prioritize one favorite chore. Hear me out. We may not necessarily enjoy all aspects of cleaning, but I think everyone can identify at least one thing that they like doing more than others. I've been very vocal about my love for bed making. It's gotten to the point where this is almost a therapeutic thing for me. I think the thrill of taking a mess and straightening it out so quickly, calming the chaos, if you will, it keeps me coming back for more. Maybe your favorite chore is vacuuming the living room rug until you get those nice lines visible. Or a streak-free bathroom mirror might bring you that peaceful feeling. Whatever that one chore is for you, make it an absolute priority. Tell yourself that no matter how busy your day is, you will make time for this one thing. It's non-negotiable. So why is this important? Well, think of it like a jump start. If you make your bed, you are less likely to pile things on it throughout the day. If you're going to vacuum your rug, you're probably going to need to pick up some toys or socks from it before you start. And wiping down a mirror can easily lead to cleaning out the sink or the countertop in the bathroom. You get the idea. But even if these tasks don't spark more cleaning, it still gives you that accomplished feeling of having done something. We can get so down on ourselves during a busy season of life when juggling so many other commitments and let the lies creep into our minds, reasoning that the dirty house is because we are just lazy. Prove to yourself that is not the case by making at least one cleaning effort every single day. The bottom line is that if you can get really efficient with these smaller, more basic, enjoyable cleaning tasks, that's going to leave more time available to allocate later to those less enjoyable things that we tend to put off, like degreasing the oven or scrubbing the windows. And the final rule, rule number 7, is to add beauty and then protect it. Your home is what you make it, and I think we can all agree that we aim to create a place that we want to spend time, not somewhere stressful and frustrating. The more time you spend adding personal details and beauty to your spaces, the more you will want to protect your work. For example, if you take the time to organize something as small as a silverware drawer, cleaning it all out, adding a cutlery tray, well, by all means, you want it to stay looking like that, and you will fight more to keep it looking clean and tidy. All those touches, the beauty, the organization, your stamp of personality, make your home a reflection of yourself. Cleaning will then be thought of as a way to maintain and preserve what you've worked so hard to create, and not as much a burden of always trying to calm the chaos and feeling like you're getting nothing in return. Like I said, you can start with something as small as a drawer or a bookshelf and then work your way to an entire room. When I began thinking of my home in this way as something personal to me, as a reflection of my family and our values, it totally changed my attitude and my approach to cleaning. Sure, I still don't always want to be cleaning, especially if I'm feeling tired or overwhelmed, but I can usually push through knowing that I'm protecting something that we've created. Our home, this blessing that is tailor-made and created for us for maximum comfort, efficiency, and enjoyment. And that is something worth sacrificing time for. Use the 7 rules that I've outlined today as a guide to begin your personal cleaning journey. Your home doesn't have to be spotless or sanitized. That's not realistic. But I want to assure you that these little efforts applied consistently is really how I've been able to achieve a clean house with a busy lifestyle and 5 kids. Give yourself grace and just keep putting one step in front of the other. Do you have any cleaning rules that you'd like to share with all of us? Please do so in the comments section. I thoroughly enjoy reading all of the encouragement that you have for one another. It's a beautiful thing to see. As always, thank you so much for watching today's video, and I hope that you'll stop back again really soon.